Today I'm just north of Paris, in Saint-Denis precisely, where the French kings are buried in the Basilica behind me. This is one of the most important historical sites in France, or even in Europe, and yet this place has changed dramatically in the past decades. To be very clear, this place, Saint-Denis, and the areas around have become very foreign demographically. So first, we're gonna go inside, and then I will show you the contrast around. For centuries, this was the royal necropolis of the French monarchy. Kings, queens, and princes were buried here, even royal children, great military leaders such as Bertrand du Guesclin, and members of the royal court. But the story of this place begins long before the monarchy. Beneath the Basilica lies an ancient cemetery dating back to Roman Gaul, nearly 2000 years old. According to early Christian tradition, this is where Saint-Denis, the first bishop of Paris, was buried after his martyrdom in the 3rd century. His tomb transformed this place into one of the earliest Christian sanctuaries of the region. The turning point came in the 7th century when King Dagobert chose to be buried here near the Marches. From that moment on, a lasting connection was established between Saint-Denis and the French monarchy. Later, Charles Martel, known for halting the Muslim advance into France, chose to be buried here in 1741. In 1775, Charlemagne himself attended the dedication of the rebuilt church. By the time Hugues Capet died in 1996, Saint-Denis had become the natural burial place of the kings of France. From then until the end of the monarchy, almost every French king was buried here with only 3 exceptions. Unfortunately, during the French Revolution, the royal tombs were opened and many remains were removed or destroyed. The basilica itself was turned into a storage building. Only in the 19th century were the monuments restored and the royal necropolis reconstructed. Few buildings in France concentrate so much history into one space, and yet... So now that you have seen the interior of the Basilica, I'm gonna walk around a bit and show you the foreign feel of the city. And I'm not gonna go to the worst parts. I'm gonna go to the nicer parts of Saint-Denis actually. So what you're gonna see is the best parts of Saint-Denis. Even the best parts are not very French, to say the least. The rupture is obviously demographic and naturally political. And here I'm just next to the Hôtel de Ville. And the last mayor that was elected is someone who has origins from Mali, from Africa. So yeah, so naturally when the demographics change, people elect someone that represents them.
Ah oui, mais non.
There are so few white people. You can count the whites you see on the screen. I'm not sure, there are more than 10 that I've seen. Actually, this plain has been inhabited for a very, very long time, even before it was Christianized by indigenous Europeans. And after it was Christianized, like the church that you saw there, the Basilica, became the center of the town, and it grew around. It was founded after Saint-Denis, after its Marche, a few hundred years after. The Marche of Saint-Denis happened in 250 around there, and in the 5th century, the first church of Saint-Denis, not this one behind me, it's another one, the first church of Saint-Denis, where the Basilica is now, was built. And then the abbey gained a lot more money because many pilgrims came here because of the Marche of Saint-Denis. It grew more and more rich, and the abbey grew a lot over centuries. So this place, as I said, has been inhabited for a very long time. It was a settlement north of Paris, where many merchants, soldiers, pilgrims, of course, went from Paris to Normandy, to the Channel coast, to the Flanders, and so on. So there was a settlement here, and then there were even fortified walls that were built around Saint-Denis. And I can show you some pictures of Saint-Denis even 50 years ago, or even less, and obviously 100 years ago or 200 years ago. It was very like any nice French town, actually. And now when people talk about the issue of immigration, they often talk about safety issues, which is obviously a big problem. But the bigger issue is the feeling of dispossession of your country, where you walk around the streets and you're the only French person. So, yeah, like the feeling of dispossession of the country is worse than the safety issues, and much more concerning long term. If you want to change your hair here.
Ça va? Hello, la plus belle. Ça, moi je. Non.
Ça, c'est ça.
Avant, il sait pas, t'as dit ces garçons. Allez, voilà. Là, derrière, derrière.
As you saw in the Basilica, there was Charles Martel who was buried there. Charles Martel is known to have halted the Muslim advance in France in the 8th century. And if he saw the area around where he's buried right now, I think he would turn in his grave. So let me know what you think about this basilica and also about the situation around it. And like and subscribe. I will make more videos about the situation in Paris and around Paris. And the next video should be in Rome. So subscribe and see you.